In this episode, we rent a car to organize a few things that's just a hassle with taxi, and even get penalties for driving on the highway without paying the fee.
$10.
We managed to find some plywood and other stuff for some small projects while waiting for the StarLink and starting to prepare our big jump soon to come. Also experienced the big difference between the Atlantic side and the Pacific side in terms of huge change in tidal water. In the previous episode, we finally crossed the Panama Canal. Yes! Finally! Pacific! It's almost a religious moment. And now we are at the Pacific side of Panama and already saying see you later to our Swedish friends that's headed to the South Pacific. We're gonna hang around here for some days to pick up a shipment and also fix a few things before stocking up and pointing our noses towards west into the sunset. After having several people sleeping on board, we have some laundry to do and got a friendly hint of a cheap place to do this not far from here. So I already missed my laundry machine, but it is what it is. It's all about priorities, and I still have not found a new laundry machine after I had to sacrifice the space for the power station on board. Trying to be a bit effective here, so I stay behind doing the laundry, while G continued with the taxi to the mall for some shopping. And to my surprise, the dryer here was heated up with propane. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, but it worked very well. Now we are done. Let's go back to the boat. It's definitely a bit more hassle now, but tomorrow we're gonna rent a car for a few days, trying to speed up the process of getting all the things we need. Yeah, here comes our taxi. Are you awake? So we tried to rent the car. We have some things we're gonna do. The scuba bottles, a few other stuff. So it's more handy to have a rental car than run around with a taxi. So let's see how it goes.
Everything okay?
We're trying to figure out the Panama Pass thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much is that?
$10.
Okay, so then we don't need. If we
Is
buy.
that if you put like at
Yeah.
least $5
Yeah.
in the...
Okay.
Okay, at
Okay.
least.
Okay. Perfect.
I need another question.
I think we get this out at least. Okay. So yeah, we got a keys. Let's see how this goes. Payment. There's no one here.
$10.
Okay. So.
$10.
Okay. It's almost impossible. So our first mistake is already in box, and we will have to pay the $10 penalty after 5 minutes of driving. We were told this is the only place in Panama where you can have your scuba bottles refilled. If this is correct, I don't know, but at least we managed to find the store. Things can sometimes be a bit complicated in Panama, and to explain that the recent inspection and pressure test done in Martinique only is engraved and no stickers was a challenge. But we managed to sort things out and could leave the bottles for a refill. Yeah, this is complicado. You don't speak English. End of the day, they were very friendly and helpful, and even gave us priority after telling we only had a rental car until tomorrow. So even though they did not want to fill up without inspection, at least we will get them back tomorrow. On the positive side, at least we will know that our scuba bottles are in good condition for the Pacific. Maybe scuba compressor is the next on the list, something we should save money for or something. But now G is my navigator. She's very comfortable in the seat. checking the route. So they do have some serious shopping malls here in Panama City, and even though we are not big fans of it, there is some things we need to pick up there before we try our last stop today. The place that we are supposed to find some plywood. Are you in a hurry or something? What do you think about rush hours? So we are at a store that sells materials, and we hope to find the plywood. If they have marine grade plywood, would be even better. It's not so easy, it's a little bit complicated, because first you have to find what you want, then you have to pay for it and give your name, and then you have to go to a different place to pick up things. A little bit like IKEA, but when everything is in Spanish, it's sometimes a little bit complicated. That said, I'm really happy we could find what we needed here, and really good service, even cutting the plywood for us, making it possible to not only bring it with the car, but also in our dinghy later on. This is the dinghy dock on this side of the island, and we were lucky this time. I'm aware of the brutal tidal difference here. That's up to 5.5 meters or almost 17 feet. And being charged money for docking here and even told where to dock, I was hoping on a slightly better facility than this. For us, this was the last time here, as the risk of damage is way too high. The difference in low and high tide also requires more space around you at anchor. As you can imagine, 15 to 20 meter more chain out just to cover the high tide with the same scope. So some of the projects that I needed plywood for was to make this shelf. This used to be the place where the big screen for the navigation was, but as you saw in some earlier episode, I took that screen out and placed it upstairs. So that left me with a big hole in the wall here, which is not so nice. So I thought it was a good idea to make a shelf that I could fit the big iMac. I also made a shelf for the keyboard and for the mouse. So now it feels like pretty organized, and hopefully this will save me for a lot of time also. It's not super pretty, but with limited tools and space to work, this will do for now. At least the iMac is now solid fixed, and B3 can basically be upside down, and still this will be safe and secured. When checking out the other anchorage, we started to get some live updates from our friend managing the SwT Bay Marina. He had great news for us that our shipment has arrived. First time I was here, getting things shipped in was not only pricey, but seriously time consuming. But now, SwT Bay has a freight forward service from Miami to Panama, making everything super smooth and fast. And even with special service from Juano himself. So we're gonna meet him now. We are now at La Plata, and a little surprise here is, to be honest, a very nice dinghy dock. Nothing to say about that. But you go to the office and you want to pay for the dinghy dock fee, and it's $10.70 a day. That's quite a lot. I think it's the most expensive dinghy dock I ever seen. But anyway, we're probably not gonna use it for every day. It's $50 a week, so it's a discount, and a week goes from Monday to Sunday, so that's why we could not get a week today, because it's Saturday. Interesting. So we had to pay $10. Anyway, peace out.
Yep, so this is how it goes. The quest for Thomas or B3's StarLink is still in process. I got here, they went the other way, so I had to come back, and now they're coming this way. So you see them walking this way. They have walked over a mile trying to get the StarLink, and I just keep moving from place to place. So I'm making them work for it. So they'll be picking it up any moment. Así que see you later. We even have a taxi showing up to pick up the StarLink. So this is gonna be the video of the video. I love this shit.
It's like stereo.
I'm up. I let the professional deal with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Hola. And now hi to the camera, hola. So now for the big unveiling.
This is something I've been waiting for and even hoped to have with me in the Pacific. But I've been sitting on the fence for a while to see the evolution in subscriptions as well as hardware, not to forget feedback from other sailors. This is gonna be a game changer for us, even though we are almost a bit late to get it compared to other sailors.
Can you
If
imagine?
you finally leave Panama.
Yeah. Well, I consider I'm out of the locker now.
Yeah, I took the B-free name out of the voodoo box.
So back in the days, like 3 years ago, we had a saying that be aware, don't end up in Mr. Juano's voodoo locker. So he takes the boat keys, put in a locker or apart from a boat, and your boat is doomed. You will never leave the
You will
marina.
never leave Shelter Bay. We keep you there.
Forever. Thanks, man.
But for now, my pleasure.
So,
Enjoy it.
yeah.
Keep me posted how it is.
Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't already, we would really appreciate to see you subscribe. In the next episode, we explore the islands close to Panama City and even do some small jobs before starting to stock up, be free for the upcoming Pacific crossing. Okay, cheers. Hope to see you back. New adventures.